Hello everybody, this is Kimberly. It's been a while since I've done a car chronicles, but I've experienced a lot in 2024. So while I'm out driving on my lunch break, I haven't really eaten much, so I'm gonna go get me some deep fried mushrooms from the Amish. Very good. But since it's been a while since I've been doing a car chronicles, I'm not going to even name it. I'm coming on here to talk about what I've been through in the last year. So I've lost about 75 pounds since I've had COVID. I haven't had an appetite, no smell, no taste, and I've been stressing. So my dear mother has gone to glory. And everybody knows that when I do my car chronicles, I like to talk about her and progression. But, you know, with dementia, it is a very trying, debilitating situation on a family, not just a person. On top of that, I lost my puppy. So everybody remembers Choco. But I hate to say life goes on, because life goes on, but not in a callous way. Life is just what it is. The Lord puts us here on borrowed time. And I think it was in Peter. I think it was Peter in the Bible that says we are like vapors. You know, we're here one minute and then we're gone the next. When we are birthed, we're on a path to our destiny, whether it leads or ends in death. We may live a long life, and that's even with animals. God loves the animals. And so, lo and behold, I got a new Shih Tzu, and he's tiring me out. And I promised myself I would never get another dog, because I've had Choco for 16 years. He died like a week and a half shy of his 16th birthday. We've had a lifelong of experiences, and I miss him so much. I cry about him sometimes. I cried about him yesterday. I cry about my mom. But I say all that to say is that I'm just glad that in the life of the upper room and sitting in the Lord's bosom, I shall see them again, whenever that may be. This guy here, he is a piece of work. And it is a miracle on how I got him, because one of my friends and co-workers, I was just having a conversation with her, because she and I have a lot in common. And she had a puppy that she rescued, and he just recently passed away as well. But before he passed away, she gave me a call, and she was like, "You need to go get this dog." And I said, no big deal. So then she told me to look on Facebook, and then I was really apprehensive, because you know a lot of times Facebook does those little scams and stuff like that. So I said, okay, maybe I'll just, you know, go on and send him a message. So she said, did you ever reach out to that person that has the dog, because they said you really need to go and look into it? So I said, no problem. So she said, no, I need you to call them or text them. So she sent me the number, and I was like, no big deal. It was on a Wednesday or Thursday, just to show you how laxed I was about it. And so I ended up I texted the person, and then I called them and left them a message, and then they called me right back. And I talked to the guy, told him that I was a owner of a Shih Tzu that had just passed like 9-10 months ago, whatever. So he said, just come get him. I said, well, what about a rehoming fee? He was like, no, just come get him. Like, we'll put the dog in your car at this point. So I was like, oh my God. And so I had to go do some running around, pick up some stuff, because I wanted to continue my journey onto my prom, my petals for proms, and bouquets for banquets. charitable organization that I donate flowers and stuff towards anybody going to college or high school or whatever. So I went over to the Reisterstown area on the west side of Baltimore to pick it up, and then I said, let me go stop by and look at this dog. And when I did, they had him in a cage, and they opened up the cage, and he was really aggressive with another dog that was there. So in hindsight, looking back on some of my experiences since I've had him, I could see why they wanted to get rid of the dog. The gentleman had told me that his girlfriend, he bought the dog for her, and I guess she might have been separated from her job or whatever, and then she had to do some transitioning of her positions, and then she was working in different states and that she couldn't take care of the dog. So I said, okay, that's fine, I'll take him. And he was covered with fur, and then I ended up taking him to PetSmart. That was the first stop, so I can just go in and get him like a bed and a bowl and stuff, because I vowed not to use any of Choco's stuff. And he developed this personality. He is very, very aggressive. He's peeing all over the house. I don't know what to do. He's nothing like Choco, but he's still a blessing. And you know, I laughed and stuff because as much crying as I did for the last months that Choco had passed away, I know Choco got tired of me calling his name up in heaven. So he sent this dog and played a practical joke on your kid here. And his birthday is a week away from my mother's. And I named him, his name is Cornelius, because I said if I get another dog, I promise I would name him Cornelius, because that's biblical. And he's a Gentile who happens to love animals. And Cornelius just stuck out, so I call him Nearly Mac. Mac after my mother, but his name is Cornelius Rhett after my mother, Mac. And so with that and the passing of my mom, it's just to say life goes on. You don't want it to, and you can't sit in your funk and yourself because of what you've lost. That person would want you to move on. Just like if Choco was human and he would be able to talk to me, he'd be like, girl, get your life. But still, I'm out here trying to live and navigate through my troubles. I'm trying to navigate through finding love. I'm trying to navigate through, you know, how God wants me to move. I'm no longer in my club, so I have a couple of opportunities to start my own. And I just want to feel like I have a purpose. I'm about to be separated from my job. So, you know, a lot of bumps and bruises in the road. And I guess the things that you go through are supposed to lead you closer to God. And I'm really trying. I'm really trying to work this through. And it's hard sometimes. I get up and I cry. Sometimes I don't know how to function. I haven't been without a social club in 10 years, and I just felt like they didn't do me right. So I try to go someplace where I'm appreciated, not tolerated. You know, people don't want to hear from me. They don't want to hear how long I've been in a club. They don't want to know how much I've given to the club and how much I've brought value to the club. They don't want to hear it. So, you know, you're tolerating me, so you don't appreciate me. You know, all the miles that I put on my car traveling back and forth to see the nation, and you know, I still love the club. I still love club life. I still love certain people in the club, but you know, again, you have to go in life where you are appreciated, not tolerated. I've lost friendships. I've gained new friendships. I've appreciated people who appreciated me and know my worth and know what I stand for. I had to cut a couple of people off just for being stupid. And you know, you just got to cut the dead weight and just get rid of the dead weight and lean to God. And if that person, if you feel like there's a weight lifted off of your shoulder, or weight just lifted off of you. Like, I listened to a sermon one day, and it says, if the phone rings and you snarl or you turn your face up when it rings, cut that person off. And I would say the same thing to anybody else who feels the same way if they get a text from me or a call from me. Like, I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like I'm being used, and I don't want anybody to feel like I'm using them. So if you feel like you need to call me only when you need something, or if you feel like you need to call because you need advice and I'm available to give you advice, then that's cool. I'm available. But I don't need an 80-20 type of a relationship. I want reciprocity. If not equal, try to give me back at least 50-60%. If, I would say equal would be 50%. But if you can't give me a full 50, I might, as a Virgo, I might tolerate 40. And that's really pushing it. But yeah, life has been lifing. I've been trying to keep my head on a swivel, and I'm just trying to stay positive. And staying positive meaning getting rid of friends that don't belong, getting rid of the dead weight. Will you miss them? Absolutely. Will they miss you? Yeah. I've seen my child I haven't seen in 8 years at my mom's funeral. He and I still aren't talking, but that's in God's hands. Until then, he ended up making a video with his dad about me, and that's okay. If that's how they feel, they need to get their feelings out about me. According to the video, it's called How to Learn How to Forgive Your Mother When She Abandoned You. Okay. But, yeah. There's nothing I could do about that. Can't go back and change times, because the 10 years prior to that, when they were being raised by me, they don't remember that. Of course, they're not going to remember that, because boys' memories are totally different than girls' memories. And you just have to let go and let God. And if you don't let go and let God, there's just really nothing you can do but let them work that process out. And even for that, I've tried to be cordial. I tried to reach out to my son and have a conversation, and he wasn't feeling it. He wasn't feeling me. So, I'm okay, because at least I know I did that, and I could sleep at night because I took care of my mom and did whatever I needed to do. For her. And it's just a tough road. Trying to navigate yourself through different parts of making people happy. I'm not a people pleaser. I used to be, but when you get older, you learn to cut that off. And I say all that to say is, it's okay to say no. It's okay to cut people loose. It's okay to mourn. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to hurt too. Because if you don't hurt, you can't heal and learn from the process. So I just took my time to make a chronicle and just channel in and chronicle and journal in my life. So if you don't hear from me again, it's documented on how I feel, my words, my truth. I'm going in here to get me some mushrooms and some chicken. The best thing you could do for yourself is get you some mushrooms. The best thing on this side of town from the Amish. Mushrooms and fried chicken. They cook like black people. Oh boy, I swear to God. Pineapple and lemon cake. You won't go wrong. But anyway, I've been on for 14 minutes. And I'm going to cut on out. I don't talk to y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.